As diplomatic and military tensions escalate over U.S. ambitions for Greenland, the transatlantic alliance is confronting an unprecedented rift, one that now appears to extend into the realm of intelligence cooperation. Reports indicate that NATO intelligence sharing with the United States may be temporarily curtailed or paused amid growing distrust between Washington and several European capitals. While full details remain classified, sources close to the matter say some member states are reluctant to share sensitive data amid fears the United States might use it to further unilateral strategic aims in the Arctic. This development reflects a broader crisis of confidence within the alliance, sparked by U.S. policy positions on Greenland. The feud traces back to President Donald Trump's renewed push for control of Greenland, an autonomous Danish territory strategically positioned in the Arctic. Trump has publicly insisted the United States needs the island for national security and Arctic defense, even suggesting there is no going back on this goal. Such statements have alarmed European allies. Denmark has repeatedly insisted Greenland is not for sale and remains committed to its sovereignty and ties with NATO. European leaders have condemned Trump's rhetoric as an instance of new colonialism, warning that threats to the sovereignty of a NATO member could undermine the alliance's foundational principles. To demonstrate unity and deterrence, Denmark and several NATO allies, including France, Germany, the United Kingdom, Sweden, Finland, and the Netherlands, have deployed troops to Greenland under Operation Arctic Endurance. This Danish-led defense exercise aims to strengthen Arctic security and signal collective resolve. Plans are also underway to establish a more stable NATO presence on the island throughout 2026. Amid these tensions, there are credible indications that at least some NATO members have become wary of broad intelligence sharing with the United States. Intelligence cooperation, long considered a cornerstone of NATO's strategic advantage over rivals, depends on mutual trust and shared objectives. However, European capitals increasingly view Washington's Greenland agenda as a divergence from collective security priorities. While no formal break in intelligence sharing has been publicly confirmed, senior sources suggest discussions are underway within NATO's intelligence forums about limiting the scope of data shared with U.S. agencies, especially concerning Arctic strategic assessments and regional surveillance operations. The possibility of restricted intelligence exchange comes at a fragile moment for the alliance. European leaders warn that unilateral moves to acquire or exert pressure over Greenland could jeopardize NATO unity and even prompt a re-evaluation of defense cooperation frameworks. Veteran diplomats argue that any curtailment of intelligence cooperation, even if temporary, would represent a significant shift in alliance dynamics, reducing collective situational awareness and complicating joint responses to threats from Russia or China. NATO officials have not publicly acknowledged any formal changes in intelligence sharing agreements. However, Europe's growing caution reflects a broader rethinking of transatlantic relations, where political disagreements increasingly influence military and intelligence integration. Alliance leaders are expected to discuss these issues at the next NATO summit, where bridging the divide over Greenland and restoring full trust in shared intelligence mechanisms will be high on the agenda.